What if I told you that your credit card could be making you poorer, even if you've never paid a single dollar in interest? Sounds impossible, right? After all, that's what financially responsible people do. They pay their balance on time, avoid unnecessary fees, collect rewards, and believe they're using their credit card the smart way. But what if the biggest cost of a credit card isn't the interest at all? What if the real cost is something much harder to notice? Something that slowly changes the way you spend money without you even realizing it. It's Friday evening. You've just finished a long week at work and you're finally heading home. On the way, you decide to stop for a coffee. $5. You tap your credit card. Done. Later that night, you're exhausted. So instead of cooking, you order dinner. $28. Another tap. The next morning, you see a pair of shoes on sale. 40% off. It feels like a smart deal, so you buy them. One more tap. By Sunday evening, you've spent more than $100. But here's the strange part. It doesn't feel like you spent $100 because every purchase happened in seconds. No cash leaving your hands, no wallet getting lighter, no moment where you stopped and asked yourself, do I really need this? And that's where the real trap begins. Most people think credit cards become dangerous when they start charging interest. But the truth is, the biggest problem often starts much earlier. A credit card doesn't just change how you pay, it can change how you think about spending. And when spending starts feeling easier, your brain begins making different decisions, often without you noticing. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to spend $50 with a card, but how much harder it feels to hand over the same $50 in cash? The amount is identical. The purchase is identical. So why does it feel different? Because your brain doesn't experience those two payments the same way. And understanding that simple piece of psychology is the first step to understanding why smart people can still struggle with money. So why does this happen? Why does spending $50 with a credit card feel completely normal, while spending the exact same $50 in cash feels much harder? After all, it's the same amount of money, the same purchase, the same price. So why does your brain react differently? The answer has less to do with money itself and more to do with psychology. Researchers who study consumer behavior have discovered something fascinating. When you pay with cash, your brain immediately feels the loss. You physically watch the money leave your hand. Your wallet becomes lighter. And for a brief moment, your brain asks a simple question. Is this really worth it? That tiny moment of hesitation may only last a second, but it creates a natural pause between wanting something and buying it. It gives you time to think before making a decision. But credit cards remove that feeling. Instead of watching your money disappear, you simply tap a card, hear a small confirmation sound, and move on. The payment is completed in seconds. There is no physical reminder that money just left your account. This is what psychologists call the pain of paying. When that feeling becomes smaller, spending can become easier. And when spending feels easier, people often become less aware of how much they are actually spending. But here's the important thing. This doesn't mean you're bad with money. It doesn't mean you're irresponsible. Your brain is simply responding to the way the payment feels. Credit cards are designed to make transactions faster and more convenient, and that's useful. They can provide security, rewards, and flexibility when used correctly. The problem begins when convenience removes the moment where you stop and think. Think about the last time you went into a grocery store. Maybe you only planned to buy a few things, just the essentials. But then you noticed a snack on sale, a drink near the checkout, or something that wasn't on your list but seemed like a small purchase. Each item felt harmless. You tapped your card, grabbed your bags, and left. But later, you might not even remember every small thing you bought. And that's the hidden problem. Most people remember what they purchased, but they don't remember the feeling of spending. When there is no pause, small decisions become easy to repeat. A few dollars here, a few dollars there. Individually, they don't seem important. But repeated hundreds of times over months and years, those small choices can quietly change where your money goes. So if the card itself isn't the enemy, what is really causing people to overspend? The answer is something much bigger than a piece of plastic. And once you understand it, you'll start seeing why even smart people can fall into the same financial traps again and again. But here's where things become even more interesting. The problem is not just the card itself. The world around you has changed to make spending easier than ever before. Companies don't just compete for your money anymore. They compete for your attention, your habits, and your decisions. Every notification that says limited time offer, every email that says don't miss out, every cashback reward, and every buy now button is designed to make spending feel exciting and delaying a purchase feel like you're missing an opportunity. Take cashback rewards, for example. Imagine you are about to buy something for $100. Then you see a message saying, earn 5% cashback when you pay with your credit card. Suddenly, spending $100 doesn't feel like spending anymore. It feels like you are getting a benefit. But here's the question most people never ask. Would you have bought that item if the cashback offer didn't exist? Because if the answer is no, then you didn't save money. You spent money on something you never planned to buy. This is how consumer psychology works. Our brains naturally dislike missing out on opportunities. The fear of losing a deal can sometimes feel stronger than the satisfaction of saving money. That's why flash sales, countdown timers, reward points, and limited time offers are so powerful. They create a sense of urgency. And when people feel urgency, they often make decisions faster than they normally would. Now think about online shopping. Years ago, buying something required effort. You had to travel to a store, compare different options, wait in line, and physically pay for your purchase. Every step gave you another chance to ask yourself, do I really need this? But today, you can buy almost anything from your phone in less than 30 seconds. One click, one tap, purchase complete. Convenience has made life easier, but it has also made impulsive spending easier. The distance between wanting something and buying it has almost disappeared. And here's something surprising. Many people believe they spend too much because they lack discipline. But discipline is not always the biggest problem. The environment around you has changed. Businesses study how people make decisions. They test different designs, messages, notifications, and shopping experiences to understand what makes people more likely to buy. That's why this isn't simply a battle between you and your credit card. It's a battle between your long-term financial goals and a world that constantly encourages short-term spending. If you don't understand how these systems influence your decisions, you may keep blaming yourself without realizing what is happening around you. But the good news is this. Once you understand the game, you can start making better decisions. The people who build wealth aren't perfect. They simply create systems that protect them from emotional choices. And in the next part, we'll look at the exact system you can use to make sure your money works for you instead of disappearing every month. So if credit cards are not the real problem, then what separates the people who use them wisely from the people who feel trapped by them? The answer is not more willpower. The answer is having a system. Because relying only on self-control is a losing game. You might make perfect decisions today, but tomorrow you will see another sale, another notification, another reason to spend. The environment around you will always create new temptations. That's why people who build wealth don't depend on motivation alone. They create rules that make good decisions easier. The first rule is simple. Never let your credit card decide what you can afford. Decide that before you spend. Before buying something, ask yourself one important question. Would I still buy this if I had to pay for it with money already sitting in my bank account? If the answer is no, then the purchase probably isn't helping your future. The second rule is to treat your credit card like a debit card. A credit card should be a payment tool, not extra income. If you don't already have the money available, don't use your future paycheck to justify a purchase today. People who build wealth understand that borrowed money can create temporary happiness, but long-term stress. The third rule is to automate your financial future. Most people follow this pattern. They receive their paycheck, spend throughout the month, and save whatever is left. But the problem is, there is usually nothing left. Wealth builders reverse the process. They save and invest first, then build their lifestyle around what remains. Imagine your paycheck arriving every month. Before you even have a chance to spend it, a portion automatically moves into your savings or investment account. You don't have to fight temptation because the decision has already been made. And here's something important. Building wealth is not about removing all enjoyment from your life. You don't need to stop having fun, stop eating out, or never buy anything you want. The goal is balance. Enjoy your money today while also protecting the person you want to become tomorrow. The people who become financially successful aren't always the ones who earn the most. They're the ones who create systems that make their money work for them. A credit card can give you convenience, but only good habits can give you freedom. So the goal isn't to find the perfect credit card with the best rewards. The goal is to build a financial system where your decisions are controlled by your goals, not by your emotions. So let's go back to the question we started with. Can a credit card really keep you poor, even if you never pay a single dollar in interest? The answer is yes, but not because the card itself is bad. A credit card is just a tool. The real danger comes when that tool changes your behavior, when every purchase feels smaller than it really is, when convenience replaces thinking, and when small decisions repeated over and over slowly create bigger financial problems. Financial freedom is not created by one huge decision. It is created by thousands of small decisions made consistently over time. Your financial future is not decided by the card in your wallet. It's decided by the habits behind every purchase you make. So the next time you see a limited time offer, open a shopping app, or reach for your credit card, pause for a second and ask yourself one simple question. Would I still buy this if I had to pay for it with cash right now? That small pause can be the difference between emotional spending and intentional spending. Because the goal isn't to never enjoy your money. The goal isn't to remove every fun thing from your life. Building wealth is not about saying no to everything. It's about making sure your money is helping you build the life you actually want. So here's my challenge for you. This week, don't just pay attention to what you buy. Pay attention to why you buy it. Was it something you truly needed? Something you planned for? Or was it just an easy decision because spending felt effortless? That awareness might be the first step toward changing your entire relationship with money. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think makes people spend more money than they planned? Is it shopping apps, subscriptions, food delivery, or something else? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to learn how to make your money work for you instead of disappearing every month, subscribe to Money with Jack. Remember this, a credit card can make spending easier, but only discipline can make building wealth possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.